Hello, what's going on? So, I guess we've all heard or seen some kind of headline or whatever. All these sensationalized headlines. Trump calls Ted Cruz a pussy. Now, technically, that's not what happened. Technically, one of his supporters said it, and well, I'll let you see what happened. But what nobody seems to be talking about is what he said before that. See, what Trump said before that is way more important than the fact that somebody called, or that he called Ted Cruz something. All right? But what he talked about before, which also explains why people are calling him what they are, is all connected, and it's all important for the American people to understand. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this clip, and I'm just going to dive into some of my thoughts on this.
So, folks, we're going to have a whole different thinking. I've been saying for a long period of time, take the oil. Remember? Remember this about me. I was against, because I've had Hillary say, I don't like Donald Trump's tone. And I've heard Jeb say it too. I don't like Donald Trump's tone. You know, he's a low energy guy, so he doesn't like my tone. But honestly, he said, and she said, and they said it the same day. And I thought to myself, well, I can tone it down. I'm a smart guy, I'll tone it down. Then I said, wait a minute. I turn on television. They're chopping people's heads off in the Middle East. If you're Christian, the head comes off. If you're not Christian, the head comes off. We haven't seen stuff like this since medieval times. All right? Medieval times. And people are worried about my tone. You heard the other night at debate. They asked Ted Cruz, serious question, well, what do you think of waterboarding? Is it okay? And honestly, I thought he'd say absolutely, and he didn't. He said, well, he's concerned about the answer, because some people, she just said a terrible thing. You know what she said? Shout it out, because I don't want to... Okay, you're not allowed to say, and I never expect to hear that from you again. She said, I never expect to hear that from you again. She said he's a pussy. That's terrible.
Now, had he not said all of the stuff that he said leading up to that, that would actually be funny. But unfortunately, what he said right before that was said by his supporter, which he repeated, is absolutely true. And they're not talking about this on CNN. They're not talking about this on mainstream media. This is really going on. They're chopping off the heads of Christians, so much so that a lot of people are calling it a Nazi-like extermination. And for some reason, all of these people over there that are doing this stuff, we all know that they're funded, aided, abetted by our government. The whole world's called us out on it. And now, all these guys that are there doing this stuff, they're flooding the world with tens of hundreds of thousands at a time as refugees. And I just showed y'all the other day, German intelligence telling you 100% without a doubt, these dudes, these terrorists, are coming in under the guise of refugees. Right? So the guys, these terrorists, all right, these people that are over there cutting the heads off of Christians in an extermination type of way, because they're trying to get all of them. Don't misunderstand. It is ugly. It's real ugly. And all these guys, they're getting spread all over the world, and they're taking over countries. There's some countries getting torn apart by this stuff right now, and they want to bring a couple 100,000 of them to America this year. And that's what y'all need to understand. This is some medieval time stuff. This is a real modern day war on Christianity where they're chopping people's heads off. And the worst part is, it's not just Christians. Anybody who is Muslim and doesn't want to accept Sharia law, chop chop. That's it. Alright? And what you got to understand, and y'all can try to twist around the gospel all you want to, but the simple fact is, I believe, anyways, God loves us the way that we are. Alright? And I believe in that some things are worth fighting for. Alright? Now, do I want to go start a war with somebody? No. But if somebody wants to come and chop off the head of me or my family or my American brothers and sisters, then I expect that our government is going to put some serious foot to ass to protect us instead of aiding these guys and trying to bring them into our country. So they're absolutely right. Because, yeah, maybe waterboarding sounds absolutely horrible, but you know what sounds like a lot more horrible than the heads of your family rolling on the floor because our government is, to use his words, are too big of pussies to do what's right to protect us. And if that means waterboarding the crap out of some freaking terrorist to get the information we need to protect our citizens, then you need to man up and do it. Because this is no joke. This is life or death. This is a war on Christianity, and right now, we're losing. We all know how the story ends. Alright, so don't misunderstand. People got to step up and do the right thing. And sometimes it's a horrible thing. And I feel awful for any man that has to do something like that to another man. But I feel a whole lot worse to see my family's heads getting chopped off because righteous men didn't want to stand up and defend what's right. So, I don't know. This is what we're dealing with, y'all. You know. So, I don't really know what I can say about this. But this is once again the media deflecting. They want to take a big pretty little cuss word and take away from the fact that Christians are getting their head cut off so people will still once again ignore the reality of the situation that's going on. Alright? So when you're going out and you're hanging out with your friends and you're going out and having a beer or whatever, you know, going out to dinner, going to see Star Wars, whatever it is you're doing, and people start having conversation, and when your friends start going, ho, did you hear what Trump called Ted Cruz? Y'all make sure to let them know what he said right before that and see if they still think it's funny. Because it's a serious situation. And slowly but surely, it's going to be an ugly awakening for America. So, that's it. That's all I got. This is real. This is really going on. They're exterminating Christians and it's spreading worldwide. Alright, they're sending these guys everywhere. And they're setting up these big Islamic cities, and don't misunderstand. Y'all can look all over YouTube, go to InfoWars if you want, and watch Jabba the Hutt or any of these guys You know, the reports are out there, man. They're setting up these cities all over America. Why? Why? Does that make any sense to anybody? When we know what these people are doing? I'm sorry, I'm on a rant, but y'all need to be aware of the situation. And y'all need to realize it's more deflection to get the American public stuck on a buzzword instead of them realizing the seriousness of a situation that the American people need to wake up to real fast. Because you can't imagine my surprise when I sit there and just get through doing a video about how NASA bans the word Jesus. And the very next thing I finally decided to go check out what this whole Trump situation is all about. And I find out it's about the extermination of Christians being distracted away from. So, anyways, that's the situation, y'all. That's what you need to know about that story. It's not even remotely funny. It's actually very serious. And y'all need to spread the word. This man is telling you the truth. That's it. That's all I got.